Honor everyone. Honor to everyone that's watching. Honor to everyone that's joining the chat. Honor to you all. I say peace, love, and light to you all, and welcome. Welcome to everyone that is out there. Before we start, this is Darkman X TV. I am an Ahuak American, in colonial terms, what they call an Arawak American. We have many, many things that are happening in front of us today. And we are letting certain things about to seep in and distract us. And again, I say this is chess, not checkers. And if you don't start thinking like the oppressor, putting your mindset in the mindset of the oppressor, putting your mindset in the mindset of colonial forces, foreign entities, what do they want? What has been the main focus of their blueprint from ever since the beginning of their conception? What do they want? Hmm? I was I'm currently still talking to American Arawaks right now on the phone, right? And I had to tell our brother that I was having a conversation the other day with some brothers. I had a few conversations with some brothers. I had a conversation with some brothers yesterday, and I had some before yesterday, the other day. And the one the other day, me and these brothers were talking, and then there was another set of brothers that was talking, and they wanted me to chime in on their conversation. And I said, I don't, no, I don't talk to sheeps, right? And they found it disrespectful. They was like, "Did you just call us?" I said, "Sheeps." See, the difference between the conversation that I got into with the first set of brothers is that their mindset is they're getting it, right? And with the other conversation that was going on across from us, their mindset is do what I'm told and don't research for myself. I can't deal with people like that. Is did you see the video of of the brother getting beat up by the cops? Do you see the video of the brother that got shot down? By them two Caucasian males, by the father and the son, and but why? Why are they showing this to you when months before last and when the COVID thing started, you weren't really seeing these videos? Why are they now coming out now more so than before? What has happened within that time? Hmm? Why? What do they need from you? What prediction did they come out on national television and say by fall millions of people will be contaminated with COVID? I guarantee it. What has your governors and mayors, especially the New York and the New Jersey governors and mayors, have been pushing? The African American community is the hardest hit. And in Northern Jersey is the hardest hit, and it's coming from Northern Jersey. That's where the Negroes are. New York City is the hardest hit. New York City's majority Negroes. Oh, we're going to set up treatment areas in these locations, Negro populated areas. Are you not getting it? Are you really not getting it? Yes, there's others out there that's being affected. Those are casualties. Those are their sacrifices that they're making of their own people to push forth the main agenda. Okay? because they're telling you that the least affected areas are up in the mountains, and it's majority Caucasian folks that are now up in the mountains. Okay, the areas where most of the reservations are the least affected areas. They're focusing on the inner cities. And every single time you hear these folks talk about a pandemic or some form of disease spreading, you always hear the word ethnic. There you oh, I love you. Look at that. Sister Death herself just put it. Ethnic cleansing. And I keep telling you, you heard your governors and your mayors use cultural, the word cultural, that means Negro. You hear them use ethnic, that means you. Okay? You hear them use urban, that's you. Okay? Don't get distracted. Think like the colonizer. Think like these foreign corporate colonial forces. That's what I'm calling colonizer. The corporations. What do they want? Land. The folks who run these corporate forces, what do they hate? You. Why? Because everywhere they go, they see you. Why is that important? Because they took your land and turned it into corporate assets and put on the stock market. Then they put in places people like prime ministers, presidents, governor generals, okay, in these places to be the managers of these stock accounts. All right. So they're making money off of your land. Then they created a system to where the more of you that die, they make money off of the organs that they harvest from your body, off of the DNA, the blood that they take from your body. Okay. This is the dirty aspect of business. What else do they want? Land. Why land? Because they want to control the natural resources of the planet. What do they have to do? What have they learned to do? Manipulate the weather. I'm on the East Coast. Around this time of year in May, it is always warm. Now it's cold as shit. All the starter kits of crops that I've started to grow indoors and that I've put outside, they're dying. They're dying because the weather keeps dropping. Okay? To create a pandemic, to create a depression, you must have a shortage of food. And for those who think, well, we're smart enough to go grow our own food, well, these people have the chemtrails that they use to manipulate the weather. So if this is why your weather stations have an unlimited amount of ammunition. Why does the weather station need an unlimited amount of ammunition? Why? Do you know why? Because the weather station tells the chemtrail pilots what they call cloud seeding. And y'all remember that video I played for y'all where they told you that they do more than just cloud seeding. If an area is predicted to have a certain amount of temperature, if New York today is supposed to be 70 degrees, it was predicted from 2 weeks ago to be 70 degrees, they'll send a plane out to spray the atmosphere to where the rays of the sun will be more so reflected away from New York. And instead of getting warmer, it's getting colder. If Michigan was predicted to have light showers from last month, yeah, light showers this week was predicted from last month, they'll go when the light showers is predicted to form, and they'll spray chemtrails in certain locations to increase the intensity of the light showers and turn it into a storm or a category 1, 2, or 3 hurricane. Okay? These are not conspiracy. Well, they're conspiring. They have to conspire to turn these acts into factual events. So if you want to put it like that. But if folks are going to put it out there like these are conspiracy theories, we don't know if that's real because you don't pick up a book and read. They weaponize these things in the colleges that you go to. I showed y'all that when they had the tornado simulator. When they showed how they could direct a tornado over houses and farmland and make it move how they want it to move. Hmm? And then they showed you the faces who are developing these projects, these little Asian children, these little Caucasian children, and them Hindu children that's creating these weapons in your face for the corporation. Now, was that dam near Flint? You gotta wake up. Their estimate is that hundreds of thousands of people are going to get infected with the virus and fall. I watched a video of the Black Panther. Oh my God. I tell you, I pay attention, man. All these agents and operatives and all these folks are going to start showing themselves. They're showing you these videos of people being shot down and people being beat up now because they need you to react how they want you to react. This is how you herd human beings. This is how you herd people. You're going to get herded. You think you're going to go out there by the hundreds of thousands and protest nationwide that it's your idea. No, it's not. I'm thinking like the colonizer. If I'm already hinting with my mayors and governors that the African American community is going to be the most targeted, is the ones that are most infected, I'm already telling the world that this virus is coming from you. Hence, this is why Trump calls these news stations fake news. And this has been going on back to 1888, 1890, from the Russian flu. Oh, there's a lot that y'all don't know. Okay. Now, I watched the Black Panther Party go down to the site of where the brother was killed by the father and son. Very heavily armed, well armed. People think this is a fucking game. They think this is a game. Excuse my language. These organizations think this shit is a game. And it's not a game. They were well armed. Went down there. What did they do? Nothing. Did you get rid of the father and son? No. Did you hit somebody up? No. You brandish your little toys that you have that they allowed you to walk around with. Okay. I'll start taking these groups seriously when you come to New York, when you go to Chicago, right? Come to New York, go to Chicago, go to Jersey, and do the open carry. Do the open carry. Because historically, your organizations have been proven to be government operatives. But if I see you come and do that, and get thousands of people to come out with open carrying, then I'll look at you in a different light. Otherwise, what I see you doing right now, you're playing on the people's emotions, trying to get them to come out in the thousands. So they're going to have New York come out in the thousands. They're going to have Chicago come out in the thousands. Detroit come out in the thousands. LA come out in the thousands. Because look, the governor of LA did not open up LA, but they opened up other parts of California. Los Angeles is where it's mostly where the Negroes are. Pay attention. So you're gonna have these big cities of our people protesting all over now in the thousands. And they're gonna infect your ass or hit you with whatever it is that they're planning on hitting you with because you're the population they're trying to control. God damn it. Colored folks are the majority all over the world on a whole. This is why Italy used the COVID-19 setup to kill off all their elderly because they need their young to populate. So they need space. Same thing with China. Switzerland isolated all the elderlies from the young ones, and they're not telling nothing about no social distancing. The Switzerland version of the Dr. Fauci, they said, he says that the young need to build their immune system. Social distancing is not going to allow them to build their immune system. So the folks, the young business owners, all the business owners who do not have any medical defects are allowed to carry on their everyday life as usual. No social distancing. The numbers has not risen in Switzerland. It has fallen. The numbers have not risen in China. It has fallen. The numbers have not risen in Russia. It has fallen. The numbers everywhere, the numbers in Italy have not risen. It has fallen. Why is the numbers keep rising here? Why? These numbers is just skyrocketing. Hmm? Could you not think for yourself? Could you not go and do some research? Stop taking folks' word for something. If you look up the subsidiaries of the CDC, you're going to see all the big pharma companies that are underneath the CDC's umbrella. Did you hear me? Bayer is a CDC company. Did y'all not know that? Bayer is a CDC company. And who's the head of the CDC? Dr. Fauci. So does he has a vested interest in Bayer? Yes, he does. Does he have a financial interest in Bayer? Yes, he does. You you can't make this stuff up. All people have to do is simply go do the research. Are people doing the research? No, they're not. When I went out on the road yesterday, I saw sheeps. And another thing is a sheep will try to rub off their effects on you. I know that when you wear the mask, you're inhaling back your own pollution, so you're doing more harm to yourself than good. Hmm? So I keep when they're trying to tell you have to wear a mask to go into these stores, as soon as I step one foot inside the store, I take the mask off and I walk around freely. And you see them looking at me. They're looking. They want to say something, you know. And then you know how many stores I walked right in and caught all the owners, the employees, not social distancing, not wearing a mask or gloves, and when they see you step in, they try to put their mask on. Oh my goodness, it was so funny yesterday. Let's go in order. Let's start this. I'm gonna go in order. I want to contaminate. They want to contaminate hundreds of thousands of people by fall. If I was them, I would get y'all to come out in mass numbers and protest statewide in every major state or every major city. Okay. Then when you do that, I'll contaminate you with whatever I want to contaminate you with because I still have my agenda to push my vaccine. Now Trump just came out and said that he's on hydrochloroquine. That was the medicine that was proven to treat malaria and it's proven to treat the coronavirus, all different strands of the coronavirus. Okay, and you have the media playing it down, saying that he's crazy, it's unproven. It's not true. It's not that it's not unproven. It's already proven. That's why they took it off the market because it was easily accessible by everybody, and they took it off the market. They made it harder for you to get. It's just like marijuana cures over 200,000 different ailments and diseases, and they put a patent on it. Pay attention. They put a patent on marijuana, just like how they put a patent on America, just like how they put a patent on all the islands of the Americas. So it's the patent. What they have control over is the paper that the patent is on. Nothing else beyond that. When you play that game and get into their politics, now you're putting yourself on that patent paper, which gives them control over you. Okay. So now, want to infect thousands? You're gonna go out there. You're gonna march. You're gonna protest. Boom, boom, boom. You're gonna get infected. It's like the after the 1918 influenza, right? The governor of Philly still did the parade of I think it's called the Philadelphia parade. He did a parade where 200,000 people about came out, and they sent people who were infected into the crowd to infect everyone else. So by the time everyone else got home, 2 to 3 weeks later, people were dropping like flies, or people were so sick that they thought that they were going to die, ended up with all sorts of internal organ problems for the rest of their lives. Okay. If you want to solve the issue of police abuse in your community, you must first learn what a police officer is. Now, if you find the oldest form of the U.S. Constitution, it will tell you a police officer is really a peace officer. Now, I know you've heard Bill Blasio, the mayor for New York, refer to them before as peace officers. Now he's saying police, but it's peace officer. Do you want to know why? Because their job is to keep the peace. Their job is not to come to you and harass you for not wearing a mask, even they themselves aren't wearing a mask. And those peace officers are not practicing social distancing when they're in that fucking precinct. When they're in the precinct, there is no social distancing being practiced. When they're in the squad car together, their seats aren't 6 feet apart. So there's no social distancing being practiced. You hear me? Or you sitting 6 feet apart from your employee, from your coworkers when you're at work, for those who are able to go to work? Are you? Let's be real here. When you're at the family barbecue, because there was some barbecues the other day, boy. Were you 6 feet apart from your loved ones? Hmm? If you ever watch the TV series The Strain, when the corporations, the vampires finally took over the city, you see how they had the people walking in lines 6 feet apart from each other on those lines. And if you ever watch that TV series with God damn it, Taraji P Henson was in there at one time where they had the supercomputer that could track anyone. They've always showed the folks being spaced out from each other. Now, the conversation I had yesterday was so interesting with a military vet from the 1980s. Then it took me back to Brother Freeman that was in our chat on the last live, where he was saying that he was in the military, and they do that, right? So this technology of facial tracking from above has been out for over 20 years in the military. So when you're 6 feet apart from each other, that's how they can track you. They can identify you easier than when you're all close up together. It makes it hard, difficult for the system. If you don't understand what I'm saying, for those who are photographers, videographers, when you have your Canon or your Nikon, right? The tracking system on the movements with video is more precise than it is on a Nikon, right? But when it comes to photography, the Nikon is more precise than the Canon. But the movement, you see the little box when you're filming. See the little box every time the person moves, it tracks them. Boop, 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 boop. Now, have you really paid attention to that automated stuff that they have in the Walmart parking lot? It tells you that it's digitally tracking your movements. It announces that on that automated system. If you stand there and listen to it really listen to it, it's going to tell you that. Yesterday, me and my friend, we just looked at each other. I was like, "Did you hear that shit?" And that's what's in the HR 6666 bill of the digital tracing. Okay? That machine said, turning on digital tracing. That's outside of Walmart. You keep participating in this 6 foot apart thing from each other. You keep doing this on these people terms, you are going to be wiped out and enslaved. Enslaved. Chains and shackles. Slavery. If you want to solve police brutality in your community, each community has thousands of people. The community has to come out on a whole. You know who the corrupt officers are in your community. When you see these corrupt officers beating on someone that has not committed any criminal offense. What is a criminal offense? Meaning that they haven't harmed anyone, they haven't destroyed anyone's property, they haven't stolen anything from anyone. Any of those three. Because remember, an officer's title is really a peace officer. They are not to approach you unless there has been a breach in the peace. That means something violent has to have taken place. None of the above has happened. You, the people of the community, should come out in massive amount of numbers and put a stop to what is happening right there on the spot, no matter what force these people say that they're going to use. But fear cripples you, and fear turns you into a sheep. Okay? Fear. Because you are afraid. Even when your internal instincts tell you this isn't right, you still comply. You are the only people I see that know for a fact that these hospitals are having history of killing us. These policy officers are consistently killing us. But you look what they're doing. Look with your camera. Look what they're doing to me. Oh my God. And don't fight back for your survival. You have no survival instincts, and that is sad. Not only is that sad, your organizations go all over the world and teach that no survival instincts while stealing or while having other folks go against their nationality to turn them into corporate property. Because if I'm going to roll out with my boys with big ass machine guns, something has to be going on. Something is going to happen. But nothing happened. You showed off your toys. Kudos to you. You're saying, see, we've exercised our what is the Second Amendment, our right to bear arms, and this is monumental. This is what we're trying to show you guys. See, I think that something is going to happen, and I think many colored people who aren't in any organizations walk with open carry in a lot of southern states. Come to the big city. Come to New York and do that. Then I'll say you're saying something. Then you have done something, but you haven't done nothing until you've done that. Because New York straight up pisses on constitutional rights, straight up pisses on natural rights. The people stop following these organizations. They're going to lead you to your death. They're trying to bring you out in massive amount of numbers to protest. I'm tired of hearing y'all scream and complain about the abuse that you're getting. Tired of it. It's like a person in an abusive relationship. The male or the female is beating the shit out of their significant other. Break your ribs, blacken your eye, bust your lips, break your jaw, and then that person's going to turn around and tell you how to heal yourself. Just so that they could do it all over again, and you still come up with excuses for them. And you still stay. And you don't fight back. And then you start saying, maybe it's my fault. They start saying, maybe I have to do what they say to do. They want you to intermix more with them. So you start intermixing more. But then your biracial children are targeted now by them. Then you say, let you conform and comply to all their orders, but nothing hasn't changed. How are you in the mix of a pandemic, right? A supposed pandemic, but your policy officers that you call police officers are still racially profiling people to beat the shit out of them? Are they not worried? Then that takes you back to the HIV infected or AIDS infected peoples that's out there, where these officers just pull over people and beat the shit out of them for no reason to a bloody pulp, and that blood gets all over them. They don't care. No amount of crying in the world, no amount of filming and showing what's going on is going to change shit. The Chicago incidences that took place, all the protests that took place, the Mike Brown incidences. Someone tell me something that has changed. Tell me something that has changed. Rodney King, goddammit. Tell me something that has changed from all your protesting. Tell me. Nothing. It's still going on. Why? Because you have been mistaught. You have been taught wrong, educated wrong. Who are your teachers? Turn to your Pan-African community. Turn to your Nation of Islam. Turn to all these organizations in your community. They have taught you butt kiss. And then the ones that teach you some truth and how to properly put these people in their places won't do it unless you proclaim to be a part of their organization, giving up your nationality, contracting with the very same corporate entity that's fucking killing you. Hmm? Wake up. You can't sit here and have these people continuously herd you. You're being herded like cattle because you won't think for yourself. You're going somewhere with your friend. Your friend is one of those that like to conform. You know it's wrong. You give in because your friend is conforming. What? Are you crazy? So your friend pushed on their fear onto you. You see how that worked? You took on that next person's energy. And a predator can smell fear from a mile away. The community, you have to handle police brutality each community at a time. The precinct is right around the corner from you. There's thousands of you. Every time they snatch up one of you and try to drag you down, let me tell y'all something. It's the beast that's killing you is the patent system. Marijuana is a name that has been patented. Weed is a name that has been patented. Ganja is a name that has been patented. Okay? It is not the plant. The plant is from nature. Plant has been around before these people. The plant isn't patented. It is the name. The name that they came and gave these lands when they changed up the names, patent. When they renamed the people, patent. So it is the paperwork and the name on the paper in which they control to what they have changed things to that they have patented. When you go back, cannabis too, when you go back to these old documentations, treaties, contracts, newspaper articles, you're going to see them use the word patent a lot. I peeped that. Hence, they still have the patent system today. So even though marijuana is not, even though the plant itself is not illegal, how could it be illegal? It comes from Mother Earth. It grows wild out in certain parts of Detroit. It grows wild out of certain parts of Maryland. It still grows wild in a crazy amount of parts of the South. It grows wild. You still see it on the goddamn highway growing. It grows. So you can't make that illegal. And then you got to look at it. The ones who are enforcing this stuff, they are foreigners. They are not locals. They are not indigenous people. They are not original people from this hemisphere. They are foreigners. And even in their own documents, to show you that you haven't been taught shit, even in their own documents, it says that they are foreign entities to you. That's you underneath your natural nationality, underneath your natural status, are outside of their jurisdiction. But you want to play in this fucking game. You want to play in their politics. You want to vote Republican or Democrat. Fuck both sides. I don't vote. I never have voted my entire life. Okay? And then you're playing into their game, and then you don't even know how to properly even do it. Because when you're going to go vote, you ignore the councilman on the lowest level, and you go straight. Well, I gotta vote for the president. I gotta vote for the presidential election. I gotta go vote. I gotta vote for my senator, my congressman. I gotta vote for my governor. But you ignore the councilman. Everything starts at that level. They always need the councilman before they can move on with any plan. Then when you put someone in office, you don't know how to get them out. Well, the peoples in the islands do. No amount of paperwork is going to get someone out of office, neither. That you don't want back in there because they're doing a shitty job. This is it's a hands-on thing. And they put that in their document. That's why they said that you have the right to bear arms. Look, reading is fundamental. You made Jesse Jackson title you African American. That's their patent name. Okay? Your grandmother, your great grandmother, sometimes even your mother and your father, your grandfather, your great grandfather, don't know nothing of no Africa. They always say we've always been here. And you ignore that. American Arawaks asks you guys a question. Who are the faces behind those DNA tests that you're doing? The same people that was brought here to replace you. So why the hell would they tell you on the DNA test that you originally are from here? They're going to displace you on the other side of the goddamn world because they're doing their job. Reading is fundamental. This is why I say silly rabbits, tricks are for kids. You can't keep me distracted from what you're doing with the weather to kill the crop so that you could control the world's food supply. You can't keep me distracted from the genocide that is now taking place still in Haiti because Haiti's the richest island in the entire Americas. Well, Haiti and Jamaica. And I said it before, if Haiti has iridium, well, they do. Haiti has iridium, mountains, 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 mountains of it. Okay? Goes for $45 billion a ton. All right? They're now saying Haiti has a massive outbreak of coronavirus. Well, goddamn, why don't the Dominican Republic side of the island have it? Because the Dominican Republic side of the island were all the children of the colonizers. The Black Ladinos, Morenos, okay, mixed with the Black Chinese, and so on and so. Those are them. And then you have your mixture of the Haitian females that they raped, kidnapped, that had children with those admixtures. But if you don't know what a Black Ladino is, they call it back to Spain. Those are the peoples of Spain that was overthrown in Spain, and they were used to come to the Americas to fight the indigenous Americans because they looked like us. They had the Negro features just like us. Then, when they were used to fight us and push us off of our lands, they were then given, because they became a political party, they were then given our lands and they were put on reservations. Okay. And they go by the titles of Native Americans now today. All right. The Indians on the reservations. I'm not saying all of them, but a great portion of them know this history. And this also comes from the King Philip's War. And you have some of them that are also related to King Philip. Okay. Read, research. You'll see. Hurricanes hit the Caribbean, but it always hit the Haitian side of the island, which is the most devastated side, and the Dominican Republic side is always lightly hit. Come on, people, wake up. They're telling you Haiti's the poorest is the poorest country in the world. But Haiti and the Dominican Republic is one land. You think because you put up a goddamn fence, that means that the land has been separated? No, the land is the same. Then they try to tell you, look, this river separates Haiti from the Dominican Republic. But when the people are crossing that river, it doesn't even go past their goddamn knees. So it's the same goddamn land. But why do they have to separate it? Because when you dig into the history of it, the Haitians have always been there. The Haitians gave these people refuge. Refuge. Gave them an inch and they took a mile. They took a whole half of the goddamn island. You hear? Wake up. Wake up. You got to change your thought process of how you think. Stop thinking like how you were programmed to think. Okay? Start thinking outside the box. Start being free thinkers. Start self educating yourself. Okay? It's your body. Learn the makeup of your body. Okay? It is unnatural for you to be born in the islands, in the mountains, around trees all day, right? Your whole life. Then you're 50 years old. You move away from the mountains. You come to the mainland. You get sick. You get doped up with how many different types of medication. Then a few years later, your doctor is telling you that you're allergic to every bush there is out there. This is what they've told my mother. She's allergic to everything. She's in her 50s. She 3 years ago, she wasn't allergic to nothing. And after she got an injury and did surgery, and was put on these medications. Now she's allergic to this, she's allergic to that. She had to walk around with an EpiPen. She has to walk around with this and that. Now, what you're learning from this COVID-19, which is why they keep blocking the pandemic documentary with Judy Makovich, is that even asthma was something created in a laboratory. Allergies was something created in a laboratory as a part of ethnic cleansing, meaning to wipe out Negroes. Okay? There will never be any change on a whole until you get up out of the sheep's mindset. Until you start taking more of a firm stance, right? I see Connecticut has reopened back. I don't know if they're doing the social distancing still with the businesses, but Connecticut has reopened back. A lot of places are reopening back, right? But there are a lot of places that never shut down their cities, never shut down their communities, and never implemented social distancing on the mainland here. And they don't talk about those. They don't talk about those states. They don't talk about those cities. And there has not been any spike in any coronavirus death in those places. Right? The Haitians have always been the warriors. Here's the thing. Haiti is one of the places that came on the mainland and freed a lot of Indians, a lot of your ancestors, right? For those who was out there telling saying island folks need to mind their business and focus back on the mainland. Haiti, the Haitians, but not just the Haitians, there's a couple other islands, but the Haitians, historically, that what you've known, has come to the mainland and freed many Indians during slavery. You who are now called African Americans, freed you. Well, there's a debt owed here. But instead of the folks who are part of these Pan African organizations organize like how they organized and gave $300 million to one African country. That $300 million could have went to Haiti and built up back the infrastructure of Haiti and empowered back the Haitian youths and get them the proper education that they needed to put someone in position, in place that will properly represent them. Hmm? To Cuba, to Jamaica, to Puerto Rico, to the neighboring islands of Haiti. I'm gonna show y'all how social distancing work. Look how close these islands are to Haiti. And the politicians sent out no help, no resources to the island of Haiti to help pull them up out of what the turmoil that they're in. Now you have UN troops down there raping off the females and shooting down the people down there. Now you have the police and soldiers at war with each other down there. This is what's going on now. All the other islands around them should have combined together one force and go down there and intervene and put Haiti on lock until whatever needs to be cleaned up is cleaned up. But this is what happens when you let foreigners take over your political affairs. When you let foreigners become the head of your political organizations. When you let foreigners be the majority on your boards of your chair boards. Hmm? So no, these videos that has been going on for over before Rodney King of young black men being beaten down and shot by. I'm not being distracted by it. It's just time for it's only but so much you can keep getting up every day and let a bully punch you in the face every day and not at some point fight back. You're gonna run and complain every day to your mommy. Mommy. Rodney punched me. No, mommy. Debo took my chain again. Hmm? Like, come on now. The same people that controls your policy officers department. Hmm? Policy officers been shooting you down dead. These CDC doctors have been shown to contaminate you with all sorts of diseases and experiment on you. Who do you think was doing the Tuskegee experiments? Who do you think was doing the HIV experiments? Who do you think was doing all these experiments on you? Who? It all goes back to the Centers for Disease Control. And they're the ones now telling you to social distance. Huh? They're the ones telling you 94,000 people has already died, but you don't see the 94,000 people. Where are the bodies that's being burned? Were the bodies burned? Where are the bodies? Tell you 10,000 people died so and so in this day of time, but they only tell you about one incident of a death and show you one person who's passed away. That's inflation of numbers. And then you've never seen anyone sick, you've never seen anyone die, but you're running around with a mask on your face telling others to wear a mask because it's out there. But your skin is the largest organ on your body. Your skin has pores that absorbs everything that is out there. So you wearing a mask don't mean shit. Wake up. When police officers come to you, know that their titles, original titles, is peace officer. And that means there's no breach of the peace. So when they come to you, huh? You ask them if there's been a breach of the peace for them to be here. Why are you here? Did we breach the peace? Hmm? Upon your oath that you've took, am I in violation of a? Is this an arrestable offense? Is this in criminal? Am I doing any form of criminal activities for you to be here? They say yes. Did I breach the peace? That's it. They can't. If they say no, then why are you here? Your job as a peace officer is to keep the peace. Name and badge number. Sometimes they don't care. They still want to roughhouse you and put their handcuffs on you. Your first thought is, well, I'm going to sue now. And you go ahead and you sue the department. Well, the department is insured. Each officer has a bond number. That bond number is an insurance number that has a certain amount of money to it so that when they do go out there and beat people up, it's covered by the insurance, by the bond number. So each bond is about $25,000 to $45,000. So because these officers know that they could come out here and F you up, yeah, because that they have the insurance to cover for the damages. The insurance is going to cover the damages because remember, your birth certificate, it puts you in a business capacity. It puts you as corporate property. Okay? Since y'all want to get deep. Your pro-black community wasn't teaching you this 30, 40 years ago. They weren't teaching you this. Hmm? They taught you Hotep, 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 Africa, Africa, Africa. Hotep, Hotep, Hotep. $4,000 for this package deal to go back to Africa, family. Let's do the sign of the TV awards, family. We're giving our people something. A fucking award? Come on, family. What you want, the red pill or the blue pill, family? Each officer has a bond account. You can put a lien on that bond account. Well, how do I get the bond account for all? Well, you can put it for a FOIA, what's called the Freedom of Information Act. Okay? Damn near anything that you ask for, they're supposed to give it to you. You can even pull up how much the officer makes yearly if you want to know how to properly sue. You can pull up the officer's yearly salary. They have to give you that information. Then you could pull the officer's oath of office to see if he or she really took an oath, right? Then you have to know what to look for to that makes the oath legitimate. Okay? Then you can also pull up a judge's oath of office. They're trying to block you from doing it, but you could get it. If you're one of those that believe in a lawyer, let your lawyer get it. And you'll see that 98.9% of these judges are not judges. They're lawyers acting as judges, meaning that they're acting in a fraudulent capacity. Then you also see that majority of these policy officers did not take an oath, meaning that they're acting in fraud as a peace officer, as a law enforcement officer. They're acting in fraud. Imposters. That's something major right there for you. That is something major right there for you. So the time that you will put into going out by the thousands to go protest, you could have been organizing study groups in the community to study this information and to go organize hundreds of y'all going down to these precincts asking for the freedom of for a FOIA and all the officers. If you saw a state trooper helicopter flying around your community too many times, you go pull the FOIA. Why were they flying around? Why were they flying around the community? They're supposed to give you that information once you put in a request for it through the forms. Or you could also go down to your county clerk office. This is what these offices are for. You must know how to use these things. Hey y'all, them fools had me walking around hating white people, buying books, and opening up credit cards. Opening up credit cards supposedly to build wealth, none of which is going to help me get my damn inheritance. That's a fact. Yeah, FOIA, FOIA. That's it. Freedom of Information Act. You must know these things. This is why you can look at the Ben Crumps in them and call them phonies. That's why you could call these lawyers phonies. Plus, it's a conflict of interest with those lawyers because them and the judges went to the same bar association. The bar association is a private entity, it's a private corporation. Conflict of interest. All cases are conflicts of interest right there. Now, if you're dealing with the living, breathing man, if you understand the what the living, breathing man is, the natural person, then you understand, you overstand, you understand that you're not dealing with these regular courts. If you're going to go at these policy officers, you're going to take the living, breathing man, right? If the policy officer's name is Daniel Cunningham, then you're not going off of the policy officer, the police officer. You're going after Daniel Cunningham. You're pressing charges on Daniel Cunningham. You're going to indict Daniel Cunningham. You're taking Daniel Cunningham into an Article 3 court that deals with the living, not the dead. Okay? Wake up, people. Wake up. You keep playing this game with them, it's not going to bode well for you. You keep moving how they're predicting you, how they want you to move. It's not going to bode well for you. If each community don't take a stand, it's not going to bode well for you. How many of you guys wrote your senators and your congressmen? How many of you guys went to your councilman, wrote your councilman, registered mail? Well, certified mail, if you're sending out a notice. Certified mail, your councilmen, your congressmen, your senators, that you don't want that HR 6666 bill that gives them the okay to track you, to digitally trace you. Do you know what digital tracing is? It's what they do to animals in the wild when they come across, oh, cranky, look at that. Look at that wild wolf right there. I wonder where it's going. I think it's almost extinct. We're going to have to track it. Pow! And they shoot it with a digital tracker. And then they put a collar around it so that they know that that's one of the wolves that they shot with the digital tracker. And everywhere it goes, they know where it's been and they track it. That is digital tracing that's in that HR 6666 bill that was put on the desk of the Senate by a former Black Panther member. Okay. Okay. Wake up. This is not a game. Either you stand for something or you stand for nothing at all. Either you learn how to do it the right way or you continue doing it like a sheep and be a lamb to the slaughter. Bobby Rush, thank you, Original Lone Wolf. Bobby Rush, the former Black Panther member, he's the one that brought the HR 6666 bill. Okay? So when they're telling you stay indoors, they're getting a lot done. They get ready to box you in. It wasn't enough that the former governor of Minnesota, Jesse Ventura, showed you the millions of FEMA coffin. Do you know who else works for FEMA? Hemok Shelop works for FEMA. He said so. On the video that he has up on his channel, cuffs on him. He told the officer that he works for FEMA. For those who don't know who Hemok Shelop is. And there's many folks in this community that is associated with him and his organization. Because Hemok Shelop also went by the title Bay. And they still have the Circle 7 on their ID cards. You saw that in the video. So now telling people he's a Moor. He's a Moor. Then his friend was like, this Indian shit really works. So you call it the Indian shit. Really? I pay attention to everything. Sometimes it don't click right away, but sometimes it clicks right away. Okay? This is not some Indian shit. As how they put it. This Indian shit really works, y'all. Now, when you say something like that, you're sounding like a scammer. Like you're only proclaiming this because you want to use it to get away with the bullshit that you're doing. Yo, the time for sleeping is over. The 80s and the 90s generation babies, you're the ones that have to bring up the next generation. Okay? And I talk about this one right here because for the most part, the Tekashi 6ix9ine generation is done. They're done. Okay? They're done. And it's sad to say that there's a few that isn't, but for the most part, the majority, they're done. No matter how much you break this down to them, they're not going to get it. And those are the ones that 20, 30 years from now is going to be like, oh, I get it now. But that time it's too late. The plan, the agenda has already been passed, and you getting it then don't mean shit for me. You 30 years after the fact. Hmm? When you end up like one of those statistics, like when I keep saying, where are the Black Chinese in China? You don't see them. You don't see them. 6'6", 6 feet apart in front, 6 feet apart behind, 6'6". You're in your grave. Star vision. Yep. Walking Dead. I hear people complaining. They're saying, they closed the courthouses, so I can't do anything. Courthouses are open. Well, goddamn. If courthouses aren't open, how are they making all these arrests? What judge is seeing these people? What judge? How are they making all of these arrests? Hmm? How are they arresting all these people for not wearing a mask? How are they fining these people $1,000 fine, $500 fine? This is what they're doing out there for something that is unconstitutional, meaning it's against the law, meaning that all your governors and mayors have been committing war crimes on the people, genocidal acts. But because you've been dummied down and you've been taught for years what direction to look in, while you ignore the direction that you're supposed to be paying attention to, you don't know this. So you comply. You comply to the same people that's been shooting you down dead in the streets innocently. You've complied to the same people that has historically been proven to be poisoning you all these years and that still are poisoning you all these years. Okay? It depends on what area you're in at 410 Tay. Some of these municipals are closed. They're not open. And that's what people's have been complaining about. All right. So what do you do? They're closed. And you want to go down to the county clerk to take care of some paperwork or whatever. That's what the post office is there for. The post office is there for that. You fix your documentations, your paperwork, you want to proclaim your status, so and so, and you register mail it back to yourself. Post office is always a federal witness. Plus, the post office runs all this shit. That's what the post office is there for. Okay. And if you want to know more about that, subscribe to American Arawak's channel. All right. American, you spell it out like this. All right. You spell it out like that. Okay. And you subscribe to his platform. You want to know more about his history as far as being indigenous of the Americas. Makadan one is in the chat. Lakona Empire, Copper Hot Step, right? You got Current Mayo, Ohu, right? There's many platforms out there. I have videos on it down my video list. And keep going. You want to learn how these countries, these islands have been turned into corporations and the power is only on paperwork. I have videos on it too also as well. Go down the video list. And again, and back to American Arawak's platform. You'll see what's really going on. And you'll take your power back. You'll see that these countries aren't poor. You have the poor people of the world, foreigners, that came and made you think that your countries are poor while they're selling you back your own resource double the price. Your own resource double the price. Your own resource. You'll see that the job of the prime minister, the president, is to handle your affairs. Make sure that these foreign entities, these corporations that came here to do business, are paying you taxes, that that you are getting some benefits from out of it, not stealing your land, not poisoning you to kill you off so that they can get more of your land, not poisoning your air, not poisoning your water, not poisoning your food, not poisoning your medicine. No. Your schools is supposed to be getting from the tax money that the corporations are supposed to be paying. Instead, the corporations are getting tax cuts and you're paying taxes because they put you in a corporate capacity and you don't know that. Because your mother didn't know that when she signed off on that birth certificate that came back into all capital. Wake up. Corporate names, African American. Corporate names, black. Bond paper that they belong to, your birth certificate. That birth certificate that's in the all caps. That is also counted as a death certificate. The numbers on it, it's a bank account. I pulled up mines on Fidelity. Fidelity is where I saw the how much my birth certificate was worth on the market and all the banks that has shares in my birth certificate. It's a banknote. It's a bank account. This is why these people are treating you like that because they don't look at you as living. They look at you as corporate. This is why the policy officers, the police officers are beating the shit out of you, killing you and getting away with it because they're not killing anything living. That's the system that they go by. It's sick. Yes, I know it's sick as shit. Because I'm looking at you, you're looking at me. I'm inhaling, you're inhaling. I'm exhaling, you're exhaling. I know, yeah, God damn it, you're alive. But because this paperwork says, oh, he called himself African American. Oh, he's not alive. Get rid of him. He's a walking dead. No justice. Yes, I know. I know social also, but they're all attached to each other. So this is a system ran by sociopaths, psychopaths, and these are the same psychos that you're listening to about the goddamn COVID-19. When they keep blocking the video of Judy Makovich. Oh, let me give y'all the link in the Discord. Well, let me give you guys the link. It's called the Plandemic Documentary. YouTube keeps taking it down. Tell about it violates their guidelines. No, it doesn't. It don't violate nowhere near their guidelines. I'm watching so many other videos up here on YouTube where they're completely violating the YouTube guideline. There it goes. That's on archive.org. Plandemic Documentary. That's the link right there. Right? I got it downloaded. I don't think Archive lets you download it. Let me see if the Archives let you download it. Hold on. Because I didn't download it through Archive. I downloaded it through something else. All right. Give me 1 second. All right. No. I don't see what Archives lets you download it. Uh you could get one of them torrent programs, those downloader programs, and download it through that. Okay? You can do that. All right. But I already got this and all the others dealing with her locked into my external hard drive. So if they get rid of it, the World Wide Web, I already have it. Can re-put it right back out there and let it recirculate back. So you gotta. It's time to wake up. You gotta wake up. Okay. Like I don't. It's not much more to be said, right? Crops are dying where you're at. They're tampering with your atmosphere. Like these people play dirty. They don't play fair. All right. They're all about power. They're all about colonizing. Right. This is what they're about. So they're all about that almighty dollar, and they'll do anything by any means to get it, even if that means sacrificing the lives of hundreds of thousands, millions, hundreds of millions of people. They're not giving their children the vaccine, but they're going to give your children the vaccine because you don't know how to protect your children, right? Like I said, it's a lot of states and cities that did not shut down. They did not shut down. They did not start no social distancing. They didn't do none of that shit. And you don't hear the major news talking about them. Okay, you don't hear it. So only thing I can say is wake up, man. It is unnatural to have a sense of survival. It's unnatural to just sit and complain all day while you're being killed. That shit is unnatural. Period. That's nowhere near natural, right? And I can't believe that you've been weakened to this level, at this state, to this state of weakness. You're weak. You only have power for each other. If the brother next door to you said something to you that you don't like, you're quick to go punch him in his face. But a colonizer, a colonial force member, a foreigner to you, could walk in off the streets onto your lawn, on your property, kick down your door, go inside and beat the shit out of you. And all you do is put up a camera saying, see, look what they're doing to me. But let that be the brother from down the street. And you and your whole family, you and your whole crew, y'all creating generational wars where y'all slaughtering off each other's family members, killing brothers when they go into the funerals to go carry their own brother's coffin that you already just killed, and you went and killed the other brother while he has the coffin picked up. Yeah, the shits that I've seen in my life. Yeah, you think this is a game? Shit is not a game. We only have power for each other. We don't have strength for nobody else outside of us, and that's fucking sad. That's sad. So again, wake up. I don't know if they're still doing it on Fidelity. You could go on Fidelity and pull up the social and the birth certificate account, and you'll see what banks are underneath your stuff. I learned how to do that from watching Ian's platform, right? So the inform. I don't ignore the information. I know what Ian has been accused of doing, but that has nothing to do with the information that he has put out. It has nothing to do with the information. So that's what it is. What is it? Does a timestamp onto your document by the post office nullify your court and bring you into the judge's jurisdiction? Truthfully, at Rise Court Privy Privy, I really don't know. I don't know. That's something that you'd have to ask like American Airwax. I don't know. right? Like I know some information. I know some information. I know how to situate myself now, but certain information I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a big expert on it, right? So I could point you in the direction of folks that you can ask, and but I'm not going to sit here and act like I know it all. I don't know it all. I really don't. That's just me being honest. I know that you can use a post office for a lot of things, but uh, I'm still learning. I'm a student, and I'll never stop being a student. You know. But yeah. So look, man, just stay vigilant, y'all. Right? Just stay vigilant. Look, community unity is what's going to solve your police abuse problem in your community. Police officers are going around ticketing cars for parking here, parking there. Those are not arrestable offenses. They're not supposed to take your property. That's your private property if you have put it so to be your private property. Okay? Meaning if I go to an auction and I buy a car from an auction, or if I go to a dealership and I buy a car for a matter of fact, an auction. I go to an auction and I buy a car. I have the bill of sale. I have that receipt. Okay. Now, if I go down to the DMV and says, boom, I want a title now for the car, or I go and I take the title that I received and I go take it to the DMV and turn it into a DMV title, then I gave away my private property to the DMV. And what the DMV then did was to claim ownership over my property and gave me permission to use the property, which is now theirs. Now the DMV is contracted with the police department. Because the DMV is contracted with the police department, police officers will come and ticket you, pull you over anytime, right? Even though it's against law, even though it's against the Constitution to violate your rights, but because you have now contracted by taking out that DMV title for your car, you contracted with the corporation, but the DMV has contracted with the police department. Okay, that's why they target you. That's why they ticket you. That's why they tell you no parking here, no parking there, and if you park there, they ticket you and they tow your vehicle. That's why. But if you go and you go buy your car, you put your own private plates on your car, and you notify all the heads of these departments, the mayors, the governors, the senators, the congressmen. You notify them. You let them know, look, this is my plate. This is what I have. This is so and so. This is who I am. And then you're supposed to be put on a do not detain list where they're not supposed to mess with you. And even if you're not even put on that do not detain list, as long as you know your shit, you can always get your property back and get them to leave you the hell alone. Right? The key is don't contract. Don't contract if you don't get contracting. If you don't understand how to contract, do not contract. Okay? But with that being said, y'all, I'm about to get up out of here. And I say to you guys, stay safe, be smart. Don't let um don't let agents of the corporation pull you out into anything. Okay? Community policing, meaning you have to police the police in your community. Don't go out there by the thousands like y'all did during those other shootings in the past couple of years. That got you nowhere. It got you a bill that they gutted out the entire bill and put it on the desk of the Congress and the Senate, and then with a promise, so the next 10 years we might take a look at it and pass it. Oh, before we can pass it, we're gonna need you to redact that. Okay, let me take back and look at it now. Okay, looks good. Okay, wow. Okay, whoa. We're gonna need you to redact that too, and that. Oh, line A, section B, paragraph 2. Oh, we'll need you to redact all of that. Okay. Line 3, section 4, paragraph 5. Oh, we're gonna need you to redact all of that too. Whoa, whoa, what's going on here? And the protection that you was putting up got taken out of the goddamn bill that was passed, so it doesn't mean shit. Okay. Community policing, meaning you police the police. They're supposed to be public servants, meaning that you have all right to watch their movements. Okay, all these things. FOIAs. Go down there and ask for FOIAs all day. FOIAs. You want the names of all officers on the force. You want the salaries of all officers on the force of how much they make a year. FOIAs. You want all their logs, their call logs, their arrest reports that they've made for the whole year, for the whole month. FOIAs. This is how you get to know what you're dealing with. They know you because they're in your community. Okay? So they know you. They've been watching you. They've been staking out your community for years. While they're in your community, you never took the time out to go down there to know what the hell you're dealing with. FOIA, Freedom of Information Act. They have to give you these things. This is why they want you to stay inside too. So that you don't go down to these places. All governors and mayors that has been enforcing this lockdown has been in violation of 18 USC 2 section 242, deprivation of rights. Okay? They've been in violation of the Constitution. Down to even international law they're in violation of. And they'll let you know that they're breaking the law off of because they feel like they have the authority. They don't. Remember, they work for you. They're supposedly work for you. You don't work for them. So in what world does the employee, tells the employer what to do? I have to see those 95,000 bodies and get the list of the 95,000 names, date of birth of all those people on that name on that have died, their ethnical background, right? I have to get that list, run down that list and do my own background check on every single name to believe shit that comes out these people's mouths. All right, y'all. Now I'm out. Have a good day, y'all. Stay safe.